Welcome back everybody to the Johnny Guitar channel. Today we are playing Elder Scrolls Online with Return the Bard. And he has been working with Cladina here on a ghost hunt. Well, actually it's more of a vampire hunt. They have tracked a villainous vampire or some sort of spirit or assassin to this trapdoor here down into Dusktown mine. And so, yeah, we're going to be jumping in here. It's going to be another no commentary episode because I messed up and I screwed up the audio recording. But anyways, stay tuned. We're going to be learning a lot about who's been killing all the miners, and it's a little ridiculous. So get strapped in.
We cannot afford to be seen. A strange mist. Follow it.
So, I kind of like this section of this quest. I like being a stealthy mage, and I went ahead and tried to make Return the Bard at least a little stealthy, even though he's not a rogue character per se. He's more of a mage. Yeah, so I kind of like the fact that I'm trespassing, and I have to remain unseen, and we're actually, yeah.
It's Urval. Stay low.
Bruick, killing Captain Agran was not part of our deal.
I am a vampire, Urvar. I have needs. I made that clear when you hired me.
I hired you to protect my people. This was not what we agreed. You've taken it too far.
Who are you to reprimand me? You haven't seen too far. Just wait.
It's all beginning to make sense. Overseer Urvar employed a vampire to protect the mine. How dastardly. I believe that explains the missing miners quite succinctly. He must have given the vampire people in exchange for protection for the rest of his workers. But from what, I wonder? Not yet. Despite our ingenious detective work, right now it's still the Overseer's word against ours. And he's already given Elle reason to distrust us. What we need is definitive proof, then she'll have to listen. I believe the Overseer's office is just across the mine. We should investigate. Of course, we have to find a way in first. Perhaps you could pick the lock, or steal his key. I'm somewhat out of my element now. Excellent. You are truly the purveyor of justice Phoebe made you out to be. Just be careful. If we manage to get ourselves caught, we won't get the chance to prove anything.
You wouldn't leave, so I called the guard.
So this ends up being kind of a fun, interesting section. I either need to steal the key from the overseer himself or pick the lock. It's kind of interesting. I don't know how you would do this if you were a, like a just a barbarian build or a fighter build. It's a rogue mission, right? I either need to have lock picking proficiency or pickpocketing proficiency. I don't really have too much of either with this character. He's okay. He's a little sneaky, so he's going to do better than a fighter or a barbarian would, of course. But yeah, as you'll see in this, I have to kind of try both methods to figure out. And I am terrible at the lock picking mechanic here in Elder Scrolls Online. If anything, the lock picking mechanic is kind of similar to the lockpicking in Oblivion, but it's a little different. As you can see, it's not easy. It's tough. Anyways, let's get on with it.
A thief tried to rob me! Help! I wonder if you'll be so bold when the guards arrive. I must have left it at the shop.
More and more vampires arrive in Blackreach every day. Their attacks grow more frequent. I can only fight off so many before your miners realize the danger and abandon the town. I believe Captain Agaron already suspects something. You must speak with him soon to quell his concerns. As promised, I am doing all I can to protect your venture, but with the rise in attacks, the situation is more arduous than I anticipated. Due to an increased risk of blood donors, preferably weaker targets whose disappearance will likely go unnoticed. If you have reservations about this, remember I have proof of our arrangement. If you want this to remain between us, do as I ask. Bruick. Okay, so the vampire is being a real jerk about the arrangement he made with the Overseer.
Tell me you found something. And explains what he was trying to protect his people from. It is not enough to simply turn this evidence over to El. I was hired to help this town. Spirits or no, I have a responsibility. We must stop this horror. The vampire seemed as though he was threatening Overseer Urvar at the end of their altercation. Perhaps he's planning some kind of retaliation. If so, there's a chance we could catch him in the act if we find him. We need to investigate the mines. There has to be a clue that will point us in the direction of that monster. Let's leave here. Dusktown needs us.
Okay, so this is something confusing I picked up about this quest. The Overseer made...
The vampire's doing.
The Overseer made a deal with Bruick the Vampire to protect the miners, but in return he got to like eat one miner or suck the blood of one miner a week. But what was he protecting them from? Other vampires? Was Bruick keeping other vampires away, or is there some other sort of monster or something? Because I think, like, yeah, we're going to track down Bruick and we're going to try to kill him, but Are we then going to have to fight whatever he was protecting the miners from? It's a little confusing.
Fiend, we have to stop him. Curse him! We'll never be able to catch him like this. How do we apprehend a man who can vanish into thin air right before our eyes? Vampires do not obey the same laws as specters and ghosts. My tools would be useless against him. Unless... Phoebe's whistle! Do you still have it? It's designed to emit a tone that's unsavory to immortal creatures. Perhaps it will disturb him. It's impossible to say without evidence, but it wasn't made specifically with spirits in mind, so there is a chance. Go on, try it. This is the only plan we've got.
My head!
There he goes. Follow him. More bodies. He's leaving a trail.
I wonder who will be next.
This place has a strange smell to it.
Come. He's not getting away.
You'll die like all the rest.
We have our proof. Let us return to Dusktown.
Oh, and this is something that annoyed me, the trespassing bounty I got. Who cares? Who cares if I'm trespassing? This town, Dusktown, is not even part of the Nordic Empire. These people are on the frontier, so the bounty I receive only matters to them. And there's not a lot of people here in this town. I really think that our character Return could slaughter, between him and his clan Fear, they could probably slaughter all the guards in this town. I'm not worried about a bounty at all. Anyways, here's the conclusion of the plot.
This is ridiculous. You can't waltz in here and accuse me of such a thing.
My husband would never do something so insane. I don't suppose you have any proof.
Proof? What proof could they possibly have?
You and your associates accuse my husband of outrageous actions. Making deals with monsters? Murder? I hope you have a damn good reason. Let me see that. Donors? But I don't understand. You can't mean... Earlvar was feeding innocent minors to a vampire in order to keep everyone safe? How could this happen? How could I not have known? These were my people! The fact that he realized he was in over his head doesn't excuse the abhorrent decision in the first place. This is sickening. We both want to protect our people, but to think he'd resort to something so barbaric. You're right. We would have been left to wonder and kept losing people were it not for you and those two over there. Just tell me one thing. Did you kill the vampire responsible? Good. Good. At least there's that. Earlvar, you foolish man. What have you done?
Another case solved. Though we weren't dealing in spirits today, I have no doubt you'd make a fine ghost hunter. You have a natural talent for investigation. Elle has my sympathy. It is not easy to condemn someone you love. She is strong. She will be fine. Anyway, it was an honor to work with you. If you ever find yourself tangled in the world of spirits again, I do hope you'll seek us out. Here, take this for your time. You undoubtedly deserve it. You know, I think Phoebe looks up to you. You've become a point of inspiration for her. I know we both hope our paths cross again. Perhaps. I still sense dark energies here. This place writhes with uneasy spirits. Overseer Earlvar was the culprit this time, but with him removed, perhaps the true spiritual mysteries of Blackreach will unravel themselves. Happiness is not something I often associate with my line of work. Dealing with the dead is often a somber affair, but dealing with the living can be too, I suppose. I am merely satisfied with our end result.
You did it! I can't believe this was only your first case. You were incredible. You remind me of Claudina. Oh, I want to be more like both of you. Fearless, strong, unbeatable. Thank you for stepping up to help. We couldn't have done this without you. Yes and no. I was rather excited about the possibility of encountering a spirit down here. This is unmapped territory in both the physical and spiritual sense, after all. But I am glad we were able to help these people. It feels good to be of use. I'm not quite sure. Claudina and I travel all over, wherever the work takes us. But wherever we end up, I hope you'll seek us out. Next time you see me, I'll be much braver and have quite a few more cases under my belt.
I only did what I thought was necessary. had no choice. We couldn't stop the attacks ourselves. We would have kept losing people if I hadn't made a deal with him. At least working with Bruick allowed me to control our losses. Losing one worker a week instead of 5 felt worth it. No. I thought I had him in the palm of my hand. I provided him with a steady supply of blood, and I mistakenly thought that meant he relied on our working arrangement. He showed me the error of my ways. Now I'm paying the price for it.
Okay, some more thoughts on this quest line. For one, I did like being a ghost hunter, and I really like Phoebe and Claudina. They're kind of cool characters. The Overseer, for what he did, for the amount of people he killed, he should be in jail. Why are we letting this jerk go? Why is he allowed to just walk free? It's ridiculous. And of course, who was the vampire protecting us from? I suspect that now I'm going to do the main quest line, Dark Clouds Over Solitude. I'm going to go talk to Lyris and to Fen, who are both wonderful characters. And I suspect that through following the main quest, we're going to find out who Bruick was trying to protect the miners from. I think it's going to be Ice Reach Coven. I think it's going to be the Harrow Storm Harrow Fiends and a bunch more vampires. Anyways, I am excited to continue this plot. I do love Blackreach. I think Elder Scrolls Online does a really good job visually capturing Blackreach. It's very interesting. Stay tuned to the Johnny Guitar channel for the next episode of Elder Scrolls Online, Return the Bard, and I promise you, I'll get the audio fixed. I'll figure it out.